Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody, from yournews.com, the Parker and the Man page, on this March 17th, 2010. Can you believe it? It's St. Patrick's Day. Oh, Bagash and Bagorni on this 10 already. By the way, kicking it old school for St. Patty's Day, since I'm not wearing green. I'm wearing the wearing of the black today. I thought I'd bring out this. This was an old appearance that Rob and I had at Live 97.1 back at Doohickeys, I believe in Wyandotte. There it is. That's our little card. It's our little presentation card we had on the tables. Everybody that came out and saw us 6 years ago now, 2004. That's when this was from. Look at that hair. Look at that short hair guy. Okay, and look at Rob. He looks nice and young there. There you go, Rob Parker. Okay, so there you go. Little old school St. Patrick's Day stuff when we had an appearance down at Doohickeys. So wherever you are in the great Metro Detroit, happy St. Patrick's Day and go celebrate, but be careful out there. All right, no drinking and driving. You know that by now. Check out the piece today. My column is all about 86ing the 96 idea for the NCAA tournament. You know, there's this plan. It's been in place for a long time. It's been talked about. That's something you might not know. For about quarter century, they've talked about going to 96 teams in the NCAA tournament. You know, I'm not a big fan of that idea. I never even liked the play-in game, which, happened last night in Dayton. I think it's perfect the way it is at 64. I think when you have 3 or 4 teams that don't get in, like a Virginia Tech, or Rhode Island, or Mississippi State, or even Illinois or Northwestern. Yes, Northwestern had its first 20-win season ever, and they're still one of only, I think it's five teams since the tournament began back in the 30s that was around for it that has not made the tournament one time. There's only 5 left out of 320 schools. And I know it's a lot more schools than have ever happened, and I know everybody wants a chunk of the pie, but it's going to come down to money. We'll always follow the money. I'm assuming we'll probably go to 96 at some point. I just don't like it. And I think you ought to tell the NCAA, I've already told them, to dump the idea of going to 96 teams. Some comments there from Dan Guerrero, the chair of the tournament from UCLA, and Tom Izzo as well from Michigan State. Izzo not a big fan of going to 96 teams either. I think when you have something that's this good, leave well enough alone. Isn't March Madness just fine the way it is? I know the jingle. I know the smell of money, baby, comes awfully erotic at this time of year, especially when that $6 billion TV contract is up and they can open it up again and look into it. CBS wants to keep it. ESPN wants it for sure. ABC Disney money. Disney and the Mouse rules. You know that. Mickey Mouse organizations all over the place. My opinion, and I'd like to hear from you too, at tvboy@yournewsdetroit.com, is to leave it alone. Don't touch it. All right, so you can check that all out on the Parker and the Man page. By the way, I think we'll open up the e-bag tomorrow and read your emails, actual emails from actual humans that watch the webcam, and of course read yournews.com. Other things about Arkansas Pine Bluff made the tournament in the play-in game over Winthrop, and Pine Bluff went 0-11 to start the season. Michigan was one of the teams that beat them, 18-15, and this is where some of the criticism is not the 31 at-large bids, it's the 34 automatic bids that you wonder about. So the automatics, like Pine Bluff, they do win their conference tournament, then they win the play-in, so they get to play Duke on Friday in Jacksonville. Check out the Pistons losing to the Cavaliers. It's really hard to watch them now after the last decade. And is it just me, or do you feel the same way that you kind of expect the Pistons to lose these games? That even when they're leading or tied or playing good, playing well, playing close against LeBron and Cleveland, expect to lose. And that's what they're doing, 45th loss of the season. How about Phoenix putting up 152 points on Minnesota? Read about that too. Tiger Woods coming back to play the Masters. Wow! Aren't you shocked? Look at, even got the camera to go crazy. Tiger's going to play in Augusta amongst the dogwoods and the azaleas in April because he's a golfer and that's what he does. And you know what? Holy matrimony aside, Elin, I'm going to work, dear. So that's the way it's going to be. Tiger's first tournament will be the Masters in April. Did you see the Agassi sampras thing? If not, go to YouTube. It was a charity event this past weekend in Indian Wells, California. With Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal, so the 2 current superstars of tennis against 2 of the former superstars of tennis. And Agassi and Sampras got into kind of a heated exchange that was pretty real, pretty authentic, and kind of a little hating going on. You got to see it to believe it. So check that out, and you can read about what happened as well. And give it up to Lance Mackey. Don't know who Lance Mackey is? He is the winner of the Iditarod for the 4th straight year. He is the Jimmy Johnson of dog mushing out there in Alaska. And American Idol. American Idol. Got to give you my American Idol opinions from the top 12 on Tuesday night. Best of show, without question, was Siobhan Magnus. She has really come on. I know it's been a weak season 9, WEAK. But Siobhan was very good. Did Paint It Black, was Rolling Stones week. Lee DeWise, my guy from Chicago. I thought he was amongst the best of show. And Aaron Kelly, the young guy, the 16-year-old, with Angie, sang Angie from the Stones. Mick Jagger and all, did well too. Dee Dee Banami, back in Play with Fire. She did a nice job. You know, Big Mike, Michael Lynch, and Crystal Bowersox, they're kind of the A-Rod and Jeter of this season. A-Rod and Jeter don't always hit it out of the park, but you know they're good. Sometimes they go 0 for 3, 0 for 4. That's what kind of Lynch and Bowersox did last night. They weren't that great. In fact, Simon Cowell even said, hey, look, Crystal, for the first time you got beat. You know, Siobhan was better than you. But they're still A-Rod and Jeter, so they're still two of the favorites. Katie Stevens, the 17-year-old. Katie, I know America loves you because you're cute and all, but Jesus, this is like 3 straight weeks. Andrew Garcia, Casey James, those 3 are probably safe. The 3 that I don't think are Lacey, Tim Urban, and Paige. Tim Urban with the reggae version of Under My Thumb. I think it's only 1 gone tonight. That's the thing tonight. I think it's 1. I think it'll be Tim Urban. If it's 2, I think it'll be Lacey over Paige. I think, even Simon, I'm telling you, he loves Siobhan and he loves Lacey. Those are his girls. I mean, that's his style. That's his thing. Not that I blame him, okay? So check all that out. The NCAA, the idea of going to 96 teams, perfect time for right before the tournament starts. And then, of course, all the other stuff, too, amongst the American Idol things. Pistons, Arkansas Pine Bluff, Tiger Woods to play the Masters, and everything else. Yes, it's St. Patrick's Day 2010. Have a good one, everybody. Be careful out there. Parker the Man page at yournews.com.